let's take a minute and talk about making yourself good enough. Everybody starting something great wonders, am I good enough? Am I going to be good enough? Well, look at this. You got to make yourself good enough. And as you get, it's so easy when you start. And this is going to be the introduction to our series of videos that relate to managing yourself. You're going to have to manage yourself. If you can't manage yourself, you can't manage anybody else. And so this is what we're going to be talking about on these days. There's some absolutes you're just going to have to get clear in your mind. Or you're either going to have to manage yourself, or the choice is work for someone else who will manage themselves. So that's really what it comes down to. You have to rise above the things that most people find. They wind up being intimidated. They look around, they see all these other people that are doing such great things. Intimidated. You can't be intimidated. Forget that. You look around, you see superhuman work ethic. Look at the attention to detail they do. Look at the wisdom and insight. Look at all the adjustments they make. These guys are just overwhelming. Well, they've been doing it longer. Don't be intimidated by people who have been at it a long time. They've had time to master it. They've been doing it a long time. They've been working a long time. They've had access to it. Can't compare yourself when you sit down and try and learn how to play the piano to someone who's been playing it all their life. You can't. Let's just say, when I tried to start learning Spanish again, and it's so, it seems so overwhelming. They speak at 100 miles an hour, and even a 5-year-old child, he can go into a group of Spanish speaking people, and he's doing great. And I'm thinking, well, if this 5-year-old kid can do it, why can't I do it? I've studied, I've taken courses, this, that, and the other. Well, he's been doing it all his life. It's going to take a while for it to become part of you. So you've got to get to the point where you can make yourself good enough. Because here's the thing. Here's the mistake people make when they get started. They put their eye on their competition. Ooh, I'm so scared. Now you got to put your eye on yourself. And you've got to say, they had to start at some point. They know if they're beating me, either they know something I don't know. Once I find that out, I can beat them. Either they know something I don't know. Either they've done it longer. You give me a chance. Let me start putting in time. Let me start going into double time. Let's just see how fast. Let's see how long it takes me to catch them. And, they've got so much experience. They can do it second nature. Well, you can get experience too. A week from now, you could amaze yourself at how easily things come to you that you are overwhelmed by. We talk about the example of driving a car. When you look at a car, you look at other people driving a car and say, wow, look at them. They get in, they're talking, they're laughing, they do it second nature, stick the key, crank it up, look and pull out, do the parking, in and out of traffic. They get on the interstate 70 miles an hour. Wow. They're just incredible. Yeah, but they've been doing it forever. They know how, they know things. They've had a chance to get comfortable with the thing. You give yourself a week of driving, and all of a sudden now you look like a veteran. It doesn't take that long to pick up most things, but you cannot allow yourself. You've got to manage yourself. And that's what this series is going to be about. I'm not going to get into a lot of this stuff right now, but you make yourself good enough. You can't sit around and say, asking forgiveness from everyone. Am I good enough? Am I good enough? No, you'll never be good enough as long as you take that posture. You got to say, I want to do it. This is something important to me. I've been successful at things in the past. This can't be that hard. Or if it is too hard for me, you know what? I'm going to find out for myself. You've got to have that kind of attitude as you start things and say, I may not be good enough, but I'm going to make myself good enough. Because all these other people that are doing great things, all the people that are superstars now, they had to start at some point too. Nobody falls out of the bed knowing how to do all these things. And just because I'm starting, just because I'm no good now, doesn't mean that I'm never going to be any good. This is the introduction to self-management. And the first step to making, to being a winner, to getting things done, to reaching the goals that you have for yourself, as you say, I'm going to make myself be good enough because this is something I want to do. And if for some incredible reason I'm not good enough, I'm not going to take somebody else's opinion. I'm going to find out for myself. But you know what? I think because I want to do it, there's probably a real good chance I'm going to be good enough to do it. So that's the attitude. I want you to start all of these activities that you go for in your life. And it's in line with that of showing you how you can learn the resources where you can put yourself in it. You learn. You never have to be intimidated. Because there are resources out there that you can get your hands on to level the playing field and get out there and win and compete with everybody. There's ways of figuring this stuff out. There's ways of solving problems. There's ways of getting answers. There's ways of getting resources. You want to do things in your life? You never have to let yourself be intimidated from even trying. All right, that's the kickoff to our self-improvement series.